What's the word, squad? And welcome back for another reaction. Today we got something near and dear to my heart, y'all. We gonna be reacting to the rise and fall of the NFL 2K Sports Series. I know. Listen, NFL 2K still hold a special place in my heart. I low-key wish we did still have some NFL 2K games today. At one point, I liked NFL 2K over Madden. I'm gonna just go on record and say it. I'm not even gonna cap. You know what I'm saying? And I wonder what the game would be like if we had it in 24, 25, NFL 2K 25. That joint probably be crazy. So yeah, we definitely about to take a look at this. Yeah, man. Let's see how this one go, man. Let's get into it. I'm still hurt behind this one. Low key, I'm still hurt behind this one.
Sega Sports. If you were a Genesis fan in the 1990s, chances are that name brings up a lot of memories. Sega Sports was an important part of Sega's North American success story.
What game is
Games
that?
wouldn't have been the same without it. Whether it was the NFL, NBA, MLB, NHL, boxing, or anything in between, Sega Sports
I don't know that one either.
dozens of releases over the life of the platform.
I probably do.
But
I gotta
things
see the
utterly fell
cartridge.
apart in the early days of the Sega Saturn. Sega had not properly prepared its transition to the 32-bit era, and 1995 came and went without the strong lineup Sega fans had been accustomed to for years. The biggest what the hell had to be the lack of a Sega-published NFL title. With Electronic Arts skipping a 32-bit Madden in 1995, the first NFL game on the Saturn was released in January of 1996, Acclaim's anemic Quarterback Club 96.
Oh, Quarterback Club. I remember that one.
Was World Series Baseball,
I remember Quarterback Club,
which, surprise, was developed by Sega in Japan. By the time Sega did start to get some real quality going in other areas, the Saturn was practically dead in North America.
I didn't have Sega Saturn. Y'all had Sega Saturn? I ain't had that joint.
But in 1999, Sega got its act together for the coming release of the Dreamcast in North America. Studios were bought. Games were put into production.
Definitely had a Dreamcast.
Resurrected into a bigger and better series of games. Leading off this new direction was NFL.
Bro, the fact that we used to have conversations about Dreamcast graphics
was fully aware of
is hilarious today.
Sega and sports went together like chocolate and peanut butter, so the Dreamcast was going to be absolutely stacked with options. In this episode, we will go over the history of the NFL 2K series, look at its retail run, and how it all came to an unceremonious end.
It was a good time to play sports games.
Sega Sports NFL 2K series, a Dynasty cut short.
Which 2024 Mazda SUV is an IIHS?
Bro, what? What are you? What? Are you kidding me? Y'all not paying me. We don't do ads here, okay? Unless you coming through. Other than that, no. NFL 2K, a Dynasty cut short. Let's talk about it.
Called Visual Concepts, a fledgling software developer that was creating computer games in the late 1980s. They quickly transitioned to making console games for the various Nintendo platforms on the market in the early 1990s.
Never heard of it.
They were responsible for stuff like
now I heard it is.
Game Boy and Clay Fighter.
I definitely heard of Clay Fighter. Wasn't it? I mean, it wasn't my joint. When I was coming up, I was playing a lot of sports games. Like, it was all sports games for me.
It was during this time that Visual Concepts did Bill Walsh College Football, Madden NFL 94 and 95, as well as NHL 95.
I think I remember Bill Walsh too. I think I played that.
It wasn't long before Visual Concepts began work on Sega Genesis titles, both for Electronic Arts and other publishers as well. They handled Weapon Lord, a violent weapons-based fighting game, and Tough Man Contest, a boxing title featuring the popular fighter Butterbean.
Butterbean.
As the 32-bit generation began, they hit a major stumbling block with Madden NFL 96, failing to produce a finished game in time for that season, which is why Electronic Arts didn't have a Madden for the Saturn or PlayStation in 1995. Visual Concepts bounced back quickly the following year and created NHL 97 for the PlayStation and Saturn. This in turn motivated Sega to work with
Look
Blue
at basketball.
producing NBA Action 98
You can't even
in
see the
1997
Lakers
as
logo.
well. This would be published by Sega for the Saturn. But
Floater.
it was also on the PlayStation as NBA Fast Break 98, courtesy of Midway. It didn't take Sega long to realize that it needed a dedicated
Alright, now here we go.
developer to helm its new Sega Sports offerings for its upcoming Dreamcast, mainly because Electronic Arts had decided not to support the device unless Sega bowed out of the sports market. As Visual Concepts began work on Dreamcast games, Sega made the moves to wholly acquire them in early 1999. In an instant, Visual Concepts was put in charge
So
of one of the most
wait, y'all.
successful and storied sports branding
So this how the
outside of
war
Electronic
started.
Arts itself. And the first shots were about to be fired in a war for the hearts and minds
I ain't never
of
know
sports fans
this.
across the country.
So 2K bought the sole rights to Visual Concepts for them to make their games, and EA probably got tight. They was like, "Oh, y'all trying to buy? All right, watch this. Watch what we gonna do."
Gaming magazines. And good night did the previews of NFL 2K look amazing. Just seeing the images of NFL 2K made it clear that it would be a major step forward for sports games visually, and a clear indication the Dreamcast could paint one hell of a pretty picture. Visual Concepts brought in the company House of
At this
Moose
time,
motion capture,
these graphics for this game
that not only was it pretty,
was
it likely was
ultra
gonna look
real
as well.
to
When
me.
the Dreamcast
You know what I'm
hit
saying?
North America at launch, NFL 2K was the reason I purchased the US system despite owning a Japanese model. The blurry images found in the magazines at the time had looked incredible, but they did no justice whatsoever to the final product. NFL 2K was stunning for a game released in 1999. It was pretty enough on your television with composite cables, but once you attached the VGA box, it was drop dead gorgeous. It was razor
Listen,
sharp,
this was
had every
different.
NFL stadium in all their glory, and kept most of the specific player details. If a player was known for a piece of gear, it was there. The metagame was also well repped here.
It looks so slow now.
During a full season, following the stats, getting the best players, and creating your own plays. It supported 4 players, and you could use a VMU to call the plays. Gameplay was
He
solid,
husky.
but leaning more towards a fast and smooth arcade
Yo,
style
wow,
than a
man,
hardcore
this is
sim.
taking me
That was
back,
mainly
man.
because the AI was a bit soft,
I remember sitting in my
especially
living
the
room
underneath
playing this
passing
joint
game,
for
where
hours.
kickouts, curls, and screens succeeded far more than they failed. But no matter what, the overall consensus was that for a first effort in a brand new series, NFL 2K was a massive success. Even the harshest magazine review acknowledged
Look,
Sega's return to form.
believe it or
after the
not, people
disastrous
still
Saturn
playing this
years.
joint. They modding it up with the new
more greatness to come.
rosters and everything. Probably not 2K, but I don't know, maybe 2K5. I don't know, but people is still modding these joints up and playing them.
The 49ers send in their offense. Visual Concepts used the offseason to focus on the things to make their new series.
Okay, we got Moss on the cover
In September
again.
of 2000, NFL 2K1 burst onto the Sega Dreamcast and promised to put the previous title to shame.
See this whole so we got 99, 2000, 2001.
Franchise mode gave you even more
2K got the sole rights to I want to say Visual Concepts. This whole time EA is sitting back taking notes. They writing stuff down. They building a relationship to do what they eventually did.
Stiff arms and jukes, but now you have instant energy, which charges those special moves and turns them into super moves or more potent versions of them. Be careful though.
Wow, look at the tackles.
The instant energy meter will result in your player fumbling the ball at the most inopportune time. Without a doubt,
he caught him in the air. They would be playing the Eagles too, right? Stop playing with the Eagles name like that.
First console NFL game to feature
they better have one.
Players. Again, the media absolutely loved this one and noted its many new features. It really didn't matter if it was a US-based magazine or something from a country you typically didn't think of as NFL fans. The message was clear. Sega's new series was here to stay, and the competition was put on full notice.
We not gonna do no ads unless I'm getting paid. We ain't gonna. Pump fake. Just look at it. It looks real.
Absolutely nice play all around, and will more than likely see the punting unit come on the field.
The following year was bittersweet for Sega Sports.
Yeah, so he was just at this point. They picked Moss to be the cover athlete.
It would come after the death of the console earlier in the year. No matter how good the
And y'all see that. Y'all see how they had Moss on the cover. EA was like, maybe we should add players on our covers.
Not only played great,
You see?
Looked like $1,000,000. NFL 2K2 on the Dreamcast was rocking what seemed like the same
part of the game.
Games, so it looked
dog eat dog
next to the prettier curves of Madden. NFL 2K2 on the Dreamcast also lacked any meaningful additions to get excited about. It was largely the same game as the year before, outside of a few tweaks to the AI for improved defense and some new running moves to better navigate holes in the defense. This was still an outstanding game of NFL football, but the truth was Sega was moving on to other consoles, and that was reflected here.
We missed out, y'all. I'm telling you. Don't get me started.
Aside from the
2025
original, both of those look significantly
football
better,
game,
with higher
2K,
polygon players and more on-field
crazy.
detail. This year of transition for Sega had been rough overall. While still a respectable showing, most of the media had handed Madden 2002 the crown as the best NFL game available that year. Visual Concepts had their work cut out for them if they wanted to regain that title.
If that happened on me, I'd have been salty. I would have been salty. Did they do that? I don't remember them circling the people. Look, he's not glitching through people. He's like actually bouncing off of tackles. You know what I'm saying? He's not zooming from one point of the field to the next to get through the pile.
NFL 2K3 landed
You know what
on
I'm
the
saying?
PlayStation 2, GameCube, and Xbox consoles. It was the first year the franchise was not on a Sega console in any form. Visual Concepts, under extreme pressure from the Madden series, needed something to really set the game apart. The first big addition to 2K3 was the ESPN presentation.
2K3 ESPN presentations.
Like
we still ain't got a halftime show for real on Madden.
The look and feel of things, it was a welcome addition. The gameplay gives us hot routes this year, which takes a vanilla play and adds different routes for the receiver to take. Think of it as an expanded take on audibles, but with a lot more flexibility. You can also use the hot defense, which lets you move around players to shore up areas you think the offense are about to strike. There's also new moves, new animations, and an expanded franchise.
So y'all starting to see the correlations where one game had something early on, and then it gradually shifted to another game once it was no more competition.
But an alternative that looked, sounded, and played different enough that many fans actually considered buying it instead. And that's no small thing.
I ain't gonna hold you. I was one of them.
And they'd done away with so many upstarts. It was refreshing to see Sega hang in there and better their product at this level. 2K3 had put the series back on track, and I was anticipating another stellar follow-up in the coming year.
It was just a different flow. It was just a different game flow. The look of the game, the players, everything about it.
Would mark a huge change for the series. When it released on the PlayStation and Xbox in September, Sega decided to call it ESPN NFL Football, which was a mistake in my opinion, especially if you just saw it in a magazine where the 2K4 wasn't emphasized. Thankfully, the game itself was another real step in the right direction. This year we got a new first-person mode that was
This
a
was
great
helmet to
time
helmet,
waster.
I think they called that
ESPN
camera view.
presentation that doubled down on the stat overlays, replays, and on-air personalities, as well as new charge moves, new tackles, new catch animations, new offensive blocking schemes, and a crib where you can unlock
The
trophies,
crib,
mini-games like
yo,
air
that's
hockey,
crazy.
and even rip music to play it on your jukebox if you own an Xbox. Visual
That was
concepts
another
have taken
thing too.
2K3 and continue
Xbox,
to expand
I
upon
mean,
its
let's
own
be
formula.
real.
It was deeper,
You was able to
prettier,
play your
and there
music
was a
on
lot
there.
more to
That
do
was the
than ever
first one.
before. But it was clear this piece of the puzzle was only the beginning of the changes
I
that
mean,
were
yeah,
in
we
store.
elevated since then, but these dudes, man, they was way ahead of their time.
First carries it for the ninth time and gets down for the score.
Hey, yo, cheerleaders, we take it. Celebrations, okay. Team celebrations, okay. Do they show the cheerleaders on Madden? I can't think of it. I
Sega
highly
released the
doubt it.
PlayStation 2 and Xbox versions of ESPN NFL 2K5 in July of 2004. A surprisingly
T.O. on the
early
Eagles in
release date with
2005
an even more surprising retail
make me
price of
feel
just
up there.
$19.99. This year we kept the best editions from the year before, while gaining the VIP system, or virtual identity profile. This was an AI-based routine where it would watch you play and build a profile from your
Mind
strategies.
you,
You could then save
this
these
whole
profiles
time,
and play against them without
EA
the
is
person
plotting.
actually being there.
They're plotting their
2K5 also
revenge.
had maximum tackle, a new way to control your defender. Instead of just automatically letting the game decide your animations at the time of the hit, you could decide yourself how you were going to tackle. You could wrap up the legs of a particularly fast ball carrier, or you could pop a receiver crossing the field to make him pay for entering your territory. The ESPN presentation was the best it had ever looked, and the gameplay itself was 6 games worth of evolution that was just
Solid.
about perfect. Unknown to the gaming public at large, Electronic Arts and the NFL had signed an exclusivity deal earlier in 2004 that gave exclusive rights to the league and its players for 5 years. Electronic Arts paid upwards of $300 million for this contract, a direct result of Sega's constant barrage of competition that had eaten heavily into their bottom line.
$300 million for
Sega had
5
been selling
years.
millions of units of software every year since going multi-platform, and Electronic Arts didn't much care for that. Once it was officially announced that Electronic Arts and the NFL had partnered for this deal, the ESPN NFL 2K series was done. 2K5 would be the very last
Bruh, they
one.
got them out of there
How do we
so
stuff
quick.
Reese's peanut butter, pretzels, caramel, peanuts, and chocolate into
I don't care. They got them out of there with a $300 million bag. Damn, y'all. Hey, man.
The legacy of
All
the
in
Sega
the name
Sports
of
NFL
business.
2K series is both one of
It ain't
triumph
personal.
and one of utter disappointment. Sega had dropped the ball so fantastically with NFL games during the Saturn's run. It was hard to believe it could ever turn things around.
That
Yet
is
that's exactly what
terrible.
happened.
That was
Once
Sega
Visual
Saturn. That
Concepts
is
took the helm, we got a lineup
terrible.
of games that couldn't
I
have
wouldn't have
been
never
much
played
better.
that job.
Each game improved and added new features year to year, turning around everything that had been wrong on Saturn. Visual Concepts' experience and dedication
I
also
played
gave way
these.
to other sports that would
I
benefit
played
the
all
Sega
them.
brand. NBA 2K and World Series
Is that Drew
Baseball 2K
Brees
would also be
on
under their
Purdue?
care, as were college-level sports using the NCAA license. But life proves to be unfair at the best of times, and the EA juggernaut would not be denied. Once their monopoly over the NFL license
EA?
was established, Sega would exit the sports
Touche.
video game business for good, selling
Touche,
Visual Concepts
EA,
and
I see.
all of its related IPs to
Y'all had to
Take-Two
do what y'all
Interactive
had to
in
do,
early
man. Y'all know
2005.
they was your
I
only
can honestly
competitor.
say
Y'all
that I
had to
missed
get
the
them out
time
of
when
there.
there was such healthy
Y'all
competition
definitely
among
did that.
NFL football titles. We saw genuine advancement, and Sega was as hungry as they had been during the Genesis days to make their products the best they could be. Electronic Arts chose to deal with that hunger by not creating a product that was better, but by buying their way to the top and pushing out their adversaries. While our
Yeah.
story has a terrible ending, the
I mean, when you
legacy
got
of Sega
money,
Sports and the NFL
That's the
2K
type stuff you
series
do.
will never be forgotten. That great era of competition was supplanted by a 20-year run of nearly the same game every year from the same company. A sad state that shows no signs of letting up. I'm Sega Lord X. Thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you next time.
Hey, man. Sega Lore X. Shout out to you, man. Sega Lore X. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Damn, I'm a little tight about that, man. My fault. The rise and fall of the Sega Sports NFL 2K series. There you have it. Shout out to Sega Lore X. I'm gonna leave the link to this original video in the description. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about that, man. Do y'all prefer a 2K football game, or are y'all cool with Madden? Cool with EA and Madden? Y'all let me know in the comments below. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe, turn on your notification bell so y'all know when I'm dropping, because I will be dropping soon, you know, again. Other than that, man. And look, we got a visitor. Look at this. He jumps on my lap. He just comes down here. He's very disrespectful. Y'all give a shout out to De Niro, okay? You wanted some attention. Now you got it. For the world to see. Y'all say hi to De Niro. Look at him. All right, man. So that's that. Till next time. Peace.